We lead with this tonight. The Electoral Court has ruled that former President Jacob Zuma can run for a seat in the National Assembly during May's election. It set aside the Independent Electoral Commission's previous decision to disqualify him. Now, the decision means that Zuma will appear on the ballot for the Umkhonto weSizwe party after it successfully argued that the IEC has no authority on the matter. It claimed that the decision should be left to Parliament. Now, the IEC yesterday arguing that Zuma's 15-month contempt of court sentence without the option of a fine, which was handed back in 2021, meant he wasn't eligible. All right, let's try and get reaction on this now, and we speak to political analyst Sandile Swana. Mr. Swana, good evening to you, and thank you very much for your time. Let's first understand how you think this decision is likely to land with the ANC, although I have to put out a disclaimer that they may possibly say, well, it's none of our concern, really. Could that be the case?
I don't think they've got a choice in the matter. They've got a say in the matter, but I think the decision itself, which is going to be implemented straight away, on the side of Umkhonto weSizwe, really proves that Zuma is really probably the magic sauce, you know. People like a winner, and Jacob Zuma is a winner at this point in time in political terms.
The IEC, is it possible that they could appeal this matter and we could see it land up in the Constitutional Court? And again, I have to put out a disclaimer that these are people who have been saying for some time now that time is of the essence.
I believe that the list is going out tomorrow. So these appeals and the dates by which they must be dealt with is limited. At the end of the day, Zuma can go to the National Assembly, and from that point onwards, it becomes a political decision. The people who constitute Parliament will make whatever decisions they need to make about Jacob Zuma within the ambit of the law. So I don't think the IEC is likely or has got an appetite to be fighting this any further. I think it is what it is.
Let's talk about the people, the complainants, whom were responsible for this in the first place, because the IEC acted as a result of those complaints. If those people so decide to take this to the Constitutional Court, I suppose we would have to wait as a country to hear whether the court will allow for direct access on a matter such as this one. But do you think that that could possibly be dealt with urgently, knowing what we know about the speed, or should we say the lack thereof, that court works with?
There's another angle to that, Xoli. If you remember, I think Advocate Mpofu was pushing the view that the decision itself should not have been made by the IEC, and in fact should be made by the National Assembly, which obviously is unlikely to happen anytime soon. So the people who may want to appeal may have to wait until the Assembly is constituted and submit, to the extent that there's a legitimate channel for that, I'm not a lawyer, to the National Assembly that, by the way, in your midst, you've got a fellow who should not be there in the first place. So that avenue theoretically is open. But going to the Constitutional Court on urgent basis, this, that, and the other, I mean, the actual detailed judgment is not there. So and we don't know how long it's going to take to be produced, because you need to know the grounds of the decision before you launch an appeal. So I think that is out of time. It's really just something that probably needs to be left alone.
Yeah. Final question to you, sir. Former President Jacob Zuma occupied the highest office in the land for 9 years. And yesterday, he said something along the lines that he didn't finish what he had started. Is there a chance for him to become president of the country again? I'm just simply asking this on the basis that, based on what he is saying to his supporters, that if the MK were to indeed win a landslide in this election, he would have to go and finish what he had started.
Again, this is a legal question, but I had heard some commentators saying that he had served his 2 terms and the law prohibits him from taking a 3rd term. So now, clearly, that is a matter that is very likely to go to court. Number one, it will definitely, I think people will take that to court. Number two, the MK party itself has got a very remote chance, and there is, in fact, statistically no chance that they are going to win a two-thirds majority, what you call a landslide victory. It's not going to happen. So he would have to have the approval of whatever coalition he forms to appoint him. Let's say the EFF, MK, and the ANC got together. They would have to agree that they are wanting to put him back as president. And even if they want to propose that, the other parties will take them to court.
Sandile Swana is a political analyst. Thank you very much for your time and analysis.